Hi there, welcome back to Become a Rezolve Expert in 10 Easy Steps. In this session we're moving on from engagements. We're going to start looking at populating the Rezolve app with content. Because obviously if you're creating an engagement and you're linking to a landing page, the landing page you link to has to be a product or a category or an act. So we're going to talk about how we start getting those things into the Rezolve app. And we're going to begin by looking at products. Before we get into products per se, it's worthwhile just thinking a little bit about store structure and the structure of a store within a Rezolve-enabled app. So every single store in a Rezolve-enabled app will all have a front page. So they will at least have one page. And if you are doing just, say, selling a couple of products or one product, or you just got a single act on there, you can put them directly onto that front page and they'll just be there and they'll work absolutely fine. And that's certainly a valid way to do stores and do a store within Rezolve. However, if you've got a much bigger store and a larger range of products and services that you want to put on there, you're probably going to want to think about creating a hierarchy of categories and subcategories. Those are pages within pages, a whole hierarchy, a whole structure of the store, and then you can put your products within those category pages and create something which the consumers can navigate quite easily. When you create categories within the merchant portal, they look like this in a tree, and then they become like this in the Rezolve-enabled apps. You see you've got an image there with the name of the category underneath. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a category in the merchant portal. Okay, here we are. On the left we've got the merchant portal. On the right we've got what I've got on my mobile phone. So what we're going to do first is add a new category to this store. Now this store is just one we use internally at Rezolve for development, so it's not as smooth and as professional as a real store will be, so do bear with that. But I'm going to go to products and then categories to add my new category. And you can see I've got 5 categories here which relate to the 5 categories on the right hand side here. So we're going to add a new category to that. Now default category, that is a thing that represents the home front page of my store, and that's what we're looking at here, the sort of front page of the store. We're going to add a new category, and we're going to do musical instruments, so that's something a bit different. And we're going to put an image in. So once you've added the name, the other thing you can add is an image, and I've got one ready to go here. There it is, that's the one I want. And that is all we need to add for now. So we can click Save. Great, there's my new category on the left. It's been added. And now what I need to do is refresh what's in the app by just going back to the list of stores and back into my test store again, and we should see our new musical instruments category. There it is, bottom of the list next to sport, where we expect it to be, and I can click on that. I can see the image which I've chosen, and that's a nice empty category ready for me to add some products in. Great, so that's a category, but obviously it's an empty category, so the next thing we need to think about is putting some products in that category. And you create products, the same side menu link there, products, and you go to the catalog option and you get the list of all the products there. So let's look at some technical details of products. Every product in the store needs the same basic information. So when you add a product, whatever sort of product it is, you need to put a name, you need to put a SKU in there, which is like the product code or product reference. You need to put a description in there, and you can have a short description which appears just under the price, and you can have a longer description as well. You've got to put a price in there, and every product needs a stock level as well. And then of course you want to put images in to make it look attractive and interesting, and if you put more than one image in, then Rezolve will automatically create a slider for you in that app so consumers can look through all the different images that you provided. And this is what our product looks like when you're adding it via the merchant portal, and that gives you an example of what it's going to end up like when it's in the reference app or in any Rezolve enabled app. So let's add a product into our new category. To add some products, I go to products and then catalog. That then brings up the product list. And to add a new product, I just click add product. And then I can start filling in the details. So product name, I'm going to put in a trombone. Let's make that a nice expensive quantity. I've got 52 in there to sell. And categories, let's put it into my new category. There we are, click musical instruments. I could put it in more than one category if I wanted, but I'm just going to put it in there. Now content, I've got some content ready to go for this, which I'm going to copy and paste in. Okay, great, that's the first one pasted in. Now let's do the main description. And the final thing to do is an image. There it is. And that's all there is to adding a simple product to the store. Let's save that and check the app. That product is saved, so now let's go over to the right hand side. I'm just going to go back out of that category with the back arrow, back into that category, and there's my new product, looking good. View the details of it. There's my short description, price, long description. It's all looking good. I've got my image there. That is ready to go. And I can just go ahead and purchase that product by sliding instant buy. Great, so we've added a product now. It's looking good. We can just buy it as is. But before we move on, I want to show you and talk to you about custom fields. Because custom fields are a way of adding extra questions to a product. Because sometimes you don't just want to sell a product. You want to maybe ask a customer a question with it. Now, this could be a market research type question. Maybe, how did you hear about us? Or, what's your birthday? Something like that. You can ask a market research related question. There's 3 different types of question offered that you can add as a custom field. You can add a text field. That's a question like, what name do you want engraved on this item? There's options where you offer a range of options to a customer. That might be, how did you hear about us? Or choose your preferred color. And then date. You can ask a question such as, when do you want the reservation to begin? Or when is your birthday? Or any sort of question that requires a date as an answer. And then you can choose to make them required or not. And they end up looking like that within the Rezolve enabled app. So without further ado, what we're going to do is quickly add a question via a custom field to our new product. Here we are in the product list. Here is our product that we added. And we're going to go back into it now to edit it just by clicking on it in the product list. And what we're going to do is ask just an extra question when people are shopping, which is useful to know for us as a store owner. So to ask an extra question, we go into custom fields, and I would like to ask people, is this your first musical instrument? And it's going to be options. So we have no and yes. That's a sort of useful market research question that you might ask as a store owner. Useful to know whether people are buying for the first time or whether they're already got musical instruments. So that'll do for our extra question. Let's save our changes. And now, with our changes saved, we're going to go back into our trombone product in the app, or here on the right hand side. And there is our question. And you can click on that and we get our answers. And the answer for me is no. And then you might want to ask some follow-up questions from that as well. But I'm happy with that. let's buy it. So that's custom options. It's a good way of adding extra questions or extra options to a product. So the last thing we're going to look at today in this session is what are the options for building a store. Because so far we've just looked at one way of adding products and adding content into a store, which is manual product entry, i.e. going into the merchant portal and adding a product one by one. That's got big advantages. It's very simple, it's very reliable, it's pretty quick to add a product, relatively. We just did it just now, and anyone can do it. I mean, anyone who knows how to fill in fields, it's very intuitive to be able to add a product in by the merchant portal. But there are disadvantages. It's going to be time consuming. So, adding 10 products, not a big deal, but adding, 1,000 products, you're going to be there for a while. And there is that potential for entry errors, for accidentally copying a field into a wrong value and maybe spelling something wrong. So you've got those disadvantages. Which is why I wanted to tell you about bulk importing, which is another option that's supported within Rezolve for getting products in there. It supports importing a CSV file, which is a massive time saver, and there's nice validation in there. So if you're trying to import the description into the price field, Rezolve will warn you. And in order to create an import file, you just need some Excel skills. There are some disadvantages though. It is quite fiddly to get your import file set up correctly. There's some guidance in the help, but it may take a few goes to get it working correctly. And obviously it's a manual process. If you've got an external data source and you want to transfer that to your Rezolve enabled app, you're going to have to export some sort of data from your source. You're then going to have to manipulate and then import it in. So it is manual. And there's a few limitations about the sort of data that can get updated, but potentially it's a huge time saver. It's well worth knowing that bulk importing is possible and supported within Rezolve. So that is the section there. We've learned how to add a new category and add a product within that category and add some custom fields as well. If you've got access to a merchant portal, then do have a go at adding some products in there of your own and see how you get on. If you don't have access to a merchant portal, there's a little quiz to do online, which you can check your knowledge in this area. Alright, thanks very much. I'll see you in the next lesson.